Hey friends, welcome. Thank you so much for being here for our class today on finding the calm within the storm. And that's one of the most powerful gifts of the Kundalini tradition, is that it shows us that deep within us, there is this calm place that is always, always available to us. The more we do these practices, the more we're able to dip into that place anytime we need it. There's a place of calm. There's also a place of incredible clarity and incredible strength. And our aim really should be to start to live from that place. Our challenge is that we let the thinking mind take over. We get lost in our thoughts trying to resolve our issues from the same level of the mind that created our problems. So we end up in this trap. You can't think your way out of whatever is happening. You may think you can. Of course you think you can, because that's what we attach to. We believe that that's the wisdom. The wisdom is the silence between the thoughts. If you learn nothing else in your entire journey of yoga, if you can simply understand that you are not your mind, that on its own is life-changing. The mind creates so much unnecessary suffering for us. It's the reason I'm teaching, is because of all that unnecessary suffering I created for myself. And when I finally clued into what was actually happening and stopped looking out into the world of, thinking that there was all this stuff happening to me, I realized, oh, wait a minute, I can change things. I can change things in an instant. I can't change everything that's happening in the world, but for one, all of that drama that keeps happening isn't going to keep happening, because that's the stuff that, and I know this is tough for people to hear and absorb. And if it doesn't land today, maybe at some point in time down the road, this will land for you. But we call into our lives the necessary lessons that we need to get us on our soul's journey. So if you're going in all sorts of directions in your life, other than the one that your soul is calling you to take, life will feel like crisis after crisis after crisis. All of that discomfort is pushing you to look inward and ask, why is that happening? And see, why am I calling these lessons, these people, these circumstances in my life? They're all my teachers. They're all incredible teachers showing me exactly where my next step should be. Because this chaos, this drama, this trauma does not need to keep happening. And, disconnect that from this idea that, once you start doing this practice, that everything is going to be smooth sailing and you're going to be living from this enlightened place and there'll be no more drama and trauma. There will constantly be some interesting little thing that you call into your life, some person that pushes your buttons. Today it might be me. Maybe today I'm pushing your buttons to just help you to look at something from a different perspective, and to maybe consider that, these challenges will happen because they are part of our growth, but we don't have to experience them in the same way. The pressure that you're feeling right now, and I don't know if that's the case for you. There might be something happening for you personally, or it might be just our sensitivity picking up on all the energy of what's happening out in the world. For many of us, it does feel like there's a weight sitting right here. And it's hard to be of service. It's hard to be, we generally, the people I come across in this realm are very caring, very giving, really want to be in the world, being of service, being of some help and support to others. And we can't get there when there's this weight on our own hearts. We can't be effective in what we need to do. All of the healing work begins here. And when we do that, the healing that happens out in the world is really going to, happen exponentially in a far faster way. I mean, but all the work begins here. Now, I will touch a little bit on teacher training because my teacher training course opened for enrollment today. And I know that many of you here are part of that conversation, wanting to know more about Kundalini yoga teacher training and such. And, it's interesting to watch. I mean, I've been involved in the yoga world for over 30 years now. And if you don't know, part of my role for almost 25 years was hiring teachers, interviewing teachers, and then going back and taking these teachers' classes again and again and shaping our schedules and really interfacing between the student and the teacher and watching these teachers develop and grow or not. The ones that didn't have a dedicated practice, first of all, the student felt that. And they didn't have longevity in their teaching career because ultimately they would burn out because you end up teaching from a place of empty. So anyone who is considering yoga teacher training or wanting to share this in some way, whether through sharing some meditations or breathing techniques with their clients and whatever practice they're in, please consider that the healing work has to be done on yourself first, and that healing work is ongoing. When I took my first yoga teacher training, we spent hours and hours talking about the importance of personal practice, the importance of your daily sadhana. And it was like meditation after meditation and talking about all this inner work. And at the time I was way younger and much more restless and just, God, aren't we going to get up and move? Can you just show me some poses? Can we do something like fun here? And it's just a lot of just sitting and breathing and mantra and meditation. And there was movement as well, but there seemed to be this exorbitant amount of time talking about that dedication to your personal sadhana. And then we went through the poses and the sequences and the breathing techniques, and then the course was done. So I was left feeling like I wanted to dive more into the physical body because in that training, it was a traditional Kundalini training. I felt like the physical aspect got cheated a little bit. So I went through years of study from Iyengar yoga to vinyasa to, you name it. I signed up for it online, in person. I invited teachers into my studio. We had everybody from Dharma Mitra to Shiva Ray to Max Strom to everybody came through, not just once, year after year after year. And it was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful learning experience. And as amazing as it was, and as thirsty as I was for that knowledge, I realized that what I had learned in the very beginning is what has served me better than anything I learned anywhere along the way. It was that ability to solidify that personal practice right from the get-go, right from the very beginning. And that's why this session of our yoga teacher training that just opened for enrollment today, you'll probably see a message later on in the day. And I know Raquel is in the background. She can pop in the link for it, but I've set up this particular training in this 40-day format because 40 days is this magical number of transformation. Why? Because when we do the practice for 40 days consistently, it gets into our system. So if I can get myself to do my personal practice, which could involve breathing, mantra, physical movement, meditation, any or all of those things, if I can simply get myself to do it for 40 days consecutively, it's almost smooth sailing from there. because then the mind doesn't have to be involved anymore in getting myself onto the mat. It becomes automatic. I've set up a physical craving in my body. That's what it's like, this craving. It's almost like if I haven't done my practice, it's almost like I'm not, it's like my breath is missing. There's something different. This is just my experience. This is just that's what I have to share with you. And I always love to hear from you guys and what your experience with yoga has been, what your experience with Kundalini has been. But I can say that in the last few months, I've been spending a lot of time speaking one-on-one with people. And it's something I normally don't do. I'm always working with large groups. It's always been my thing. I love that group energy and that, that group dynamic. It's always been very fulfilling. But this year, I feel like there are many conversations that people wanted a little more maybe intimacy or privacy to have, just a little more heaviness that they're carrying. And it strikes me, not a surprise to me. I'm just going to share this with you. It sort of validates what I've known in all my years doing the practice, is that we end up in yoga because we need to find that calm center within the storm, because we are in some way calling in, chaotic experience after chaotic experience to get ourselves unstuck. Part of us longs for change. We keep telling ourselves that, we're going to make things happen, and we exert so much will trying to make things happen, but they often don't happen because we're trying to make things happen that are not aligned with the truth of who we are right now. When you spend enough time in that yoga space, in that space where you can touch that stillness, that silence, you start to feel things in an entirely different way. You start to feel pulled towards things. You start to feel repelled from other things. You start allowing yourself to be led. It begins with a promise to the self. It begins with a promise when you can no longer take the way that you've been living. Maybe you're there, maybe you're not there yet. I was there when I got on my yoga mat. I knew something had to shift. When you get to that place, it's simple. It begins with a promise. You say, I will no longer neglect my mind-body health. And the next step is to, for some time each and every day, I'm going to say, get on your yoga mat, because that's been my medicine. And if you're here, maybe it's been your medicine too, or you feel that maybe it's part of what could be that healing medicine for you too. All you have to do is get on your mat every single day for some period of time, or if you can, the same place, somewhere where you're almost signaling to your body, okay, this is the space where I tune out all the noise so that I can listen for the inspiration and the guidance and the voice of truth. And I shut out the voice of fear, and I shut out that reactionary part of me, because there are aspects of ourselves that really we need to continue to heal indefinitely, because we're experiencing new things all the time. But at this point in time, if there's a lot unresolved within us, then the decisions that we make are not from a place of freedom. We think that we're free and we're clear to make our own choices in life, but those choices are controlled by what is unresolved within us. And all you need to know to understand whether there is something unresolved within you is to feel into your body and feel, is my breath restricted in some way? Is there tightness in my body? Do I walk around all day with my fists clenched or my shoulders hunched up to my ears or in this state of constant tension. There have been times in my life where, I think I'm relaxed, and yet I wake up in the morning and my fists were, my hands were clenched in fists. And it's like, okay, something's wrong here. Your body sends you clues and signals as to what's really going on. Listen. Listen to what it has to say to you, and it will speak to you in that place of quiet. So we do the practice to help to create more space between the thoughts so the wisest part of you can start leading you. Now, I promised to talk to you about the ancient techniques. I mean, they're all really centered around breath. Our life force energy flows into us on the breath. It goes to those places of tightness. It helps to dislodge what that tightness is, and it helps to free us from the very things that are keeping us stuck. We are guilty in spiritual practices of wanting to bypass and not even consider all of that heavy energy and go right up to, I just want to work on my 6th and 7th. I want to open my third eye. I want to levitate. I don't know what, I want to feel good. I started to say a little while back, I started to want to speak to those of you who are here because you want to teach. Consider what it is you're sharing when you're sitting in front of a class and you're there to teach peace. And that's not at all what you're feeling inside you, or you haven't yet learned the tools to get there. We can only take our students as far as we've been willing to go ourselves, and be willing to admit that we're never there, that we're this constant work in process and there's nothing wrong with you, but there's also a whole lot, there's a whole lot more available to you, right? Why operate on this level when you can operate on this level? Why have your energy level here when it could be here? Why have that heaviness just weigh you down when it's clear that if you just do some very simple things, you can easily tap into that place of calm within you, because it's always there. And you can very easily tap into that unlimited resource of energy within you, because it is always there. We come to yoga when we're in crisis. We come to yoga where we're about to break down. It's what I learned many years ago, because that's where I was at. It's what I saw for my 30 years of teaching, and it's what was reaffirmed to me in those one-on-one sessions with the many, many students I've taken the time to speak to in the last few months. It just keeps coming back to the same thing. It seems that we are unwilling to make that promise to ourselves and to really honor that promise to ourselves until we are at a crisis, till we are at our breaking point. It's never too late. All of the techniques, all of the ancient techniques are so simple, but we got to do them. And what I see happening out there, it's wonderful that a lot of information, yoga-based information, is getting out into the world. It's wonderful. I love it. However, one of my greatest frustrations is how there'll be, one self-help guru or one particular life coach will take a chunk of yoga and drop it into whatever their system is, and someone else like another chunk of the practice and drop it into what they're doing. And now we have people doing only journaling practices. Well, that's called self-inquiry, and it's an integral part of the yoga practice, a system of yoga. It's not journaling floating out there on its own. It's not just about pretty journals and pretty pens. It's about going deep, asking yourself the tough questions and accessing the meditative mind so you get real answers, not fluff, not fluff. So journaling practices, that's self-inquiry work in yoga. Pranayama practice is now being practiced separate from yoga. It is one and the same. Yoga is a pranayama practice, a breathing practice. It is a breathing practice accompanied by movement. Meditation, people are feeling stress and they think they can go straight to meditation. They're just going to bypass, everything else and just learn how to meditate. That's probably one of the hardest things you will ever do, because everything you are trying to avoid, all of those stressful thoughts, the moment you sit down, come flooding up, and we aren't able to maintain a consistent meditation practice because it's too overwhelming. But if you work with the physical body at the same time, and I don't mean you have to have an aggressive physical, overly challenging practice. I mean, the practice that's right for your body at this stage in life, this level of health, whatever is going on, that simple movement is going to facilitate that cleansing, so it doesn't become this overwhelming release of negativity when you sit down to meditate. Who would stick with that? Unless you're doing what I call faux meditating, where you again, we get the pretty meditation cushion, we put on the pretty, little, I don't know, meditation shawl, we get the mala beads, we put on some soothing music, and we call it meditation. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Meditation is going to bring up some pretty big insights when you sit down, and it's going to ask you to face truth. So how do you do that when you haven't properly prepared your body? That's what yoga does. It prepares your body properly to face those truths. How? By the deep nervous system work, by the continual cleansing that happens every single day, that you link breath and movement, so that it doesn't become this hugely overwhelming experience that you wouldn't want to continue doing. If you've been blessed that you can, with your first go with meditation, you sit down and it's been smooth sailing, excellent. I'm very happy for you. And you are one of the very few people I know, or that's their experience. And you may think that yoga teachers have a incredibly dedicated daily practice. It is the #1 requirement for your effectiveness as a teacher. And I can tell you, in my experience, and I'm talking a lot of experience with teachers of all levels, all caliber, all across the globe, most of them don't. And yet it is the #1 principle for your effectiveness as a teacher. People come to yoga in general when something's going on in their life and they want to find a better way. And they absolutely find their way to Kundalini when they're in crisis. Because I know for me, it was sort of the last ditch effort. It was like, okay, I've tried everything else. I've got nothing to lose. It was finally that surrender. So as you begin your practice today, maybe just ask yourself, what is it that you're finally ready to surrender, to give up? What heavy load have you been carrying? And are you ready to release it? Everything happens when it's time. Kundalini will strengthen you so that whatever it is that needs to lift out of you will simply lift out of you. But you have to do the preparation. There is no such thing as a bad Kundalini trip. There is poor preparation. The work we do is grounding, it's healing, it strengthens the nervous system. I mean, it's a system. The training that we're going to start on March 27th is that system. I mean, we go through a process so that you are ready for all that is available to you. And it's not just all bad stuff that comes flooding up. It's that subconscious purging so that we can get to what you're really here for. So I would love to dive into a practice with you, just give you an experience of some of the different practices that we can incorporate into a class to do that sort of healing work. And that is the foundation of the 5-week module, of 40-day module that we're going to embark on March 27th. And I will be sending you information on that. And it's a course that highlights all the key differences between Kundalini and other styles of yoga and why it works so effectively and all that it can do for you. So if you're a teacher in a different style of yoga and this intrigues you, you can study this for yourself or you can study it to share with others. But there's a lot of personal work that happens in this course because that's key. We can't lead our students to places we have been unwilling to go or have not been committed enough to experience ourselves. It begins with that promise. Today is the first day of the rest of my life where I have a dedicated practice forever. It begins with that promise. Today, I care enough to show up for myself day after day after day because I can no longer live in the same way I did before. So we're going to jump into practice, but if anybody has any questions before we get started, I'll just do a quick check-in with Raquel. Raquel, has anything come up that we need to address before we get started?
No, I think we're good.
Okay, super.
Yep.
So I do see some familiar names and faces on our call, and I thank you for being here. Please remember, you're fully in charge of your experience, and Kundalini is, you can make it as challenging or as easy as you like. You're fully in control of the experience. So if something doesn't feel right in your body, pull back. You don't have to do every single movement. You don't have to keep up with anybody. You just have to honor how you're feeling and be honest about that. Don't quit and don't keep pushing yourself past your limits again and again and again. Those are important lessons to learn. Okay, let's get started. Sitting tall, spine straight, chin parallel to the floor. Extend your hands out over your knees, thumb and index finger pressed together. Close your eyes, go inward, breathe deep, long, deep inhale. Full and complete exhale. Breathing deeply, long, deep inhale. Full and complete exhale. Keeping the eyes closed. The focus on you. Rub your palms together briskly. Hands to heart center, shoulders relaxed. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. Inhale to begin. Om Yana Devana. Om Yana Gurudevana. Om Yana Gurudevana. Inhale deeply and hold, keep the shoulders relaxed, stay connected to that place of peace deep inside. With the eyes closed, exhale. One more, deep inhale, fill the heart. And exhale, release the arms, shake it out. Interlace the fingers, press the palms away, shoulders relaxed, fold the arms up to the sky. If it's okay on the neck, gaze skyward. Pump your belly, breath of fire, pull in and up on the belly with every exhale. It's a pumping action at the belly. Breathe through the nose. Inhale. Hold it here, exhale. Breathe deep, inhale. Hold it, exhale. Release the hands, palms face forward. Reach up high, inhale, spread the fingers wide. On the exhale, make fists with your hands, bring your fists down to the level of the shoulders. We're gonna move quickly, do what you can. Inhale up and pull the energy down on the exhale. Breathing through the nose, inhale up, exhale down, keep the shoulders relaxed, powerful hands. Keep going, inhale up, exhale down. Find your own pace, your own rhythm, but keep moving. Inhale up, reach high. Exhale, keep reaching high. Be still, be completely still. Inhale deeply. On the exhale, lower the arms in front of you until the palms touch the floor all the way down. Roll over your knees, uncross your ankles, come to tabletop. From here, on the exhale, bend the elbows, forehead to the earth. On the inhale, press up, tap at the adrenal glands, your kidney points, your hands open. Exhale down, powerful breath, inhale up. 3 more. Last time, exhale down, inhale up, hold it here. Hold it here, exhale. Inhale, deeply fill the heart. Exhale. Bring the left palm onto the heart, the right hand over top. Be in the stillness. Deep inhale. Exhale. Keep your hands on your heart, come to standing. Step your feet wide on the mat. Using the breath to really build the energy, the strength inside you. Standing squat, or if it's okay for your knees, all the way down. Exhale down, breathe deeply into the heart. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Whenever possible, close your eyes. If it affects your balance, please keep your eyes open. Three more. Last time, exhale down, inhale up. Exhale, stay here. Be still, feel the heartbeat, inhale. Exhale. Press the palms together, extend the arms straight out in front of you. Bring the feet closer together. Soften the knees. On the inhale, open the arms up. Press the shoulder blades together. Try to avoid the back swaying. Be careful. Inhale. Bring the hands together softly. On the exhale, moving powerfully. Inhale, press the shoulder blades together. Exhale, stay here. Keep the shoulder blades pressing together. Pump your belly, breath of fire. Remember, the belly pulls back on the exhale, breathing through the nose. Inhale. Keep the shoulder blades pressing together. Exhale. Deep inhale. Hold it, exhale. Now inhale, turn the palms to face the sky. Bring the arms up as far up as you can, soften the knees, bend forward so that the back is parallel to the floor. Gaze to the floor so you don't put any strain on the lower back. Open and close your fingers as quickly as you can. The palms face the sky. Hold it here. Keep the hands moving powerfully. Fingers open and close as quickly as you can. Keep the arms up high, the palms face the sky. Gaze to the earth. Belly draws back. Keep the hands moving. Keep the hands moving. If this gets to be too much for the low back, come to standing. Keep the hands moving. Steady. Deepen the breath to support you. Keep the hands moving. Tiny bit longer. Keep the hands moving. Belly strong. Bring the body tall. Keep the hands moving. Keep the fingers opening and closing as you reach the arms all the way to the sky. And then lower the arms to the level of the shoulders. Relax your shoulders. Relax your shoulders. Pivot the feet wider than hip distance. Keep the fingers moving, coming down. Hard, hard, hard. Hari. Keep the fingers moving, coming up. Hard, hard, hard. Hari. Coming down. Hard, hard, hard. Hari. And up. Hard, hard, hard. Hari. And down. Hard, hard, hard. Hari. Hard, hard, hard. Hari. If it's too much for the legs, just work with the arms. If you have a shoulder injury, bring the arms lower. Hard, Hari, hard, 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 Hari, hard, 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 Hari. The fingers are still moving as quickly as you can. Hari, hard, 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 Hari. Almost there. Hard, 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 Hari, 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 hard, 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 Hari. Last round. Hard, 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 Hari, hard, 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 Hari. Keep the fingers moving. Turn the palms to face the floor. Keep the fingers moving. Keep the fingers moving. Left leg up. Hard. Standing squat all the way down. Hari. Right leg up. Hard. Keep the fingers moving. Hari. Left. Hard. Hari. You can separate your feet wider if you want. Hard. Hari. Hard. Hari. Hard. Hari. Hard. Hari, keep the fingers moving. Had, hari, 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 had, hari. A little bit longer. Had, hari, 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 had, hari. Fingers moving. Had, hari, had, hari, had, hari, had, hari. 30 seconds. Had, hari, 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 had, hari. Come to standing, keep the fingers moving, inhale. Keep the fingers moving, exhale. Keep the fingers moving, reach the arms up high. From here, slowly lower the arms to your sides. Keep the fingers moving and bring the arms up behind you, arms up as high as you can, palms face the sky. Soften the knees a little bit, bow forward, belly drawing up, gaze to the floor to relax the neck. Hold it here. 1 minute longer, breath of fire, keep the fingers moving. Just give it your best. Inhale, keep the fingers moving. Exhale, deep inhale. Hold it, exhale, keep the fingers moving. Belly strong, come up, reach the arms all the way up high, and then lower the arms to the level of shoulders. Shoulders relax, keep the fingers moving. Feet wider than hip distance, stay in standing if you choose. Keep the fingers moving quickly. Had, hari, 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 had, hari. Tiny bit longer. Had, hari, 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 had, hari. Last time. Had, hari. Keep the fingers moving. Inhale. Keep the fingers moving. Exhale. Keep the fingers moving. Inhale. Keep moving, exhale. Bring the feet either all the way together or slightly separated. Hands keep moving, fingers opening and closing. Weight in the heels. Steady yourself. Find your strength on the inhale. Find freedom on the exhale. Breathe it out. Keep the fingers moving. Find strength on the inhale. Find freedom on the exhale. Keep the fingers moving. Deep inhale. On the exhale, either stay as you are or weight in the heels. Sink down low. Keep the fingers moving. Hold it here steady. Breathe deep, breathe deep. Find your strength on the breath. Stay steady. Powerful inhale, come to standing. Exhale, turn the palms to face the floor. Keep the fingers moving. Breathe deeply, inhale. Exhale fully. Widen your stance again. One last set of standing squats. Fingers moving quickly. When you're ready, hard, standing hari. Hard, 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 hari. This is it. Just 30 seconds more. Don't quit now. Hard, hari. 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 Last time. Hard, hari. Inhale. On the exhale, turn the palms to face the sky. Soften the hands. Soften the shoulders. The hands are still now. Soften. The eyes are closed. The hands are soft, open, ready to receive whatever it is you need. Breathe it in now. Breathe it deep, deep inhale. Hold it here, exhale. Breathe it deeply, deep inhale. Hold it, exhale. Keep your arms up. I know you can do it. Relax your shoulders. Relax the mind. Cross the right leg over the left. Come to seated. Keep the arms up. Relax. Pull the belly back. Find the strength in the belly in your power center to support you. The arms simply float here in space. There's nothing to do but to relax. You are fully supported. You are fully held. Don't let your mind tell you you can't. Let go of the struggle. Focus off the arms. The strength you need is inside you. Breathe through the difficulty. Almost there. Keep breathing deeply. Deep inhale. Hold it here, exhale. And deep inhale. On the exhale, bring the left palm to the heart. Bring the right hand over top. Deep inhale. Exhale. Keep your eyes closed as you extend your legs out in front of you. Keep your eyes closed as you lower down into your back. You can use your hands. Bring your arms to your sides, the palms face the sky. Be in the stillness. Find that place of surrender, that place of release. Let your body be heavy. Just let yourself go. Be completely still. And deepest inhale to wake up the heart, deep inhale. And full and complete exhale. Again, breathe deep, fill the heart, deep inhale. And exhale. And now rub the soles of the feet and the palms together over top of the body, stimulating all 72,000 nerve endings. And tuck your hands underneath your knees, rock up and back on your spine, and come sitting tall with your hands at heart center. Hold the shoulders back. Thumbs pressed right up against the sternum. Close your eyes and go back to that still place. place of calm that's always, always available to you. We'll close with one long Sat Nam. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. And inhale to close. Inhale. Sa. Na. Sat Nam. Thank you for taking the time to practice with us today. I really do believe that there is an effect, a different effect when we work together in this way. Chances are we wouldn't necessarily do these kind of practices when we're on our own. We would we would cherry pick. We tend to do the things that we like and we avoid the things that we don't like. And yet these practices that can sometimes feel like all your buttons are being pushed, like how long do I have to keep my arms up? And do I really have to keep keep moving? And why am I doing this? And I do believe that we create an energy across time and space and we support each other. I feel that. I feel there's an energetic strength that's created when we come together as community and we say, right, we're going to do this differently. And we can do it. It's not an impossible ask to keep your arms suspended. It can be challenging, but it's not a difficult thing to do. That's the beauty of the Kundalini practice. The movements are so simple. They're so simple. And yet they go to places deep inside and have this incredible effect. Sometimes it can bring up a lot of stuff. And if you felt angry, or I mean, lots of times people feel angry at me, but that anger is just something that's being, that if that's what we experience, it's just going in there and touching something inside that's unresolved. It's just triggering something, which is great because that means it can finally come to the surface and be released. Right? So we can move on, so we can get out of that stuck point. I simply wanted to share a practice with you today that does some nervous system healing. And we worked with breath. We worked a little bit with mantra. This practice is about the inner body. It's about the energetics. It's about you. And if you want to teach it, if you want to share it, if you want to add it to what you're doing, there is a system to do that. And that's the training that Raquel's kindly dropped the link in here for. It's a 40-day process that we go through together. And the reason I'm bringing it up now is because the students in my self-mastery series are about to start on March 27th. And so it's an open invitation to anyone else who wants to join in. Just a really quick wrap up, because I know I've kept you here for, already an hour, but it's a 60-hour training. 2 modules are released per week. If you're used to doing a little bit of yoga every day, this will be seamless to fit into your day. You don't have to finish in 40 days, but you can complete this entire training in 40 days. And we go through everything. We go through why do we keep our arms up that long? Why am I opening and closing my fingers? Why am I breathing like in it? Why am I inhaling and exhaling through the nose with this noisy, strange breath when all my other yoga teachers talk about Ujjayi breathing? Why aren't we doing Ujjayi breathing? Why is everything different in this practice? There is a method to the madness. And that's what we go through. We demystify the practice because it's really time that people get this whole stigma around Kundalini gets put to bed. Because if you don't know yet, what Kundalini is your destiny. It is your greatest potential. It is what you are capable of. And you can't unlock that energy inside you until you deal with the unresolved stuff that we talked about at the beginning, where we talked about in spiritual practices, we want to bypass all that stuff. We don't want to sit here and be talking about all the negative stuff. We just want to clear it out, right? I mean, there are issues that need to be addressed. Great. Our third chakra work is going to give us the energy, the motivation, the courage to address those issues, address them, move on. But we'll be clear about what our role is in those issues, instead of playing victim, instead of blaming the world, instead of stuff's going to happen, but what are we going to do about it? And what's our part in this drama that's created in our different relationships in our life? Because it always takes two. Why do I keep having repeating themes in my relationship? Why do I keep having repeating themes with my siblings? Why do I keep having repeating themes in my in my workspace? Well, there's a common denominator there, and that's me. So what's my part? What do I keep bringing to the table that is creating that dynamic? Because after a while, it gets really tiring and really old trying to resolve the same old issues, in year after year after year. So it's time to put some things to bed. It's time to just end some of this self-destructive stuff, because ultimately that's what it is. When you hold yourself back in this way, it's self-sabotage. And there is a way through, and it is so simple, so simple. And what it takes is the dedication, and that's easy to establish, because in these 40-day courses that I deliver to you, that's part of it. We create this system of training that ensures that when you're done, your body takes over and gets you to your mat again and again and again, so that magic can happen for you in your life again and again and again, because that's what it's about. It's not about yoga poses. It's not about, yes, in a way it is about yoga poses, tools, techniques, all of that stuff, but it's really about your life, your journey here, and how to make it the most fulfilling, enriching experience possible. And here you are in these 40 days. I'm going to share all the tools with you to help you do that. So, so just wanted to let you know, you'll be receiving messages today about enrollment. If you are interested, if you have questions, you can always ask now, because someone else might have the same question. Please don't be shy. We're not a shy community. We like to engage in conversation. We'd love to learn from each other. You will be a part of a bigger community, the self-mastery community. There's students that have been in there for years and keep coming back because we like each other. It's a great place to hang out. We get to talk about yoga and chakras and all the fun and juicy things that nobody else in your life wants to talk about. So you get to come here and explore those conversations and learn a lot of very, very valuable techniques that can support you in your journey as a teacher, but most importantly, in your journey through life. So this isn't just for teachers. It's a misnomer, really, calling it Kundalini yoga teacher training. But here's the bonus: you go through the 40 days, you also get a certificate. If you have a 200-hour certificate already in any style of yoga, that's it. That's all you need, this 60-hour certificate, and you can go out and share the style of yoga. If it's all new to you, this can be your very first step towards earning a full 200-hour certificate, which is what you need to go out there and teach. So I'm available for questions. If something has come up now, I'll just check in with Raquel if there's any questions at the moment. But something I did want to mention is we do have a huge discount that's available for the next 2 days, sort of an early bird offering, actually till Friday, March 15th. You can save $400. There is a payment plan. There's lots of ways that we try to make it easy for you to enroll. And most importantly, you do have lifetime access. You can do the work with us in 40 days, or you can take as long as you like. But during those 40 days, we're going to get together like this 2 times a week. You'll have your own practices to do. So you won't, if we choose to do extra practices, we will. We might sit down and create some classes together. I want to look at, I'm always adding something new to how we do things based on the needs of the community today. That I've been teaching this course for pretty much 30 years. And, you know, we want to keep adapting it to the changing needs of what's happening in our community today. So we might get together for some classes, but all of the curriculum is recorded, pre-recorded. You can do the coursework any time of day, just like my other courses, and lifetime access, which is super important. So I'll just check in. Raquel, are there any questions that have come up for anyone? And again, if it comes up later, you can always reach out.
Yeah, I think we've covered off everything, but I am just going to pop in the link one more time into the chat so that if anyone does have any other questions, you can quickly jump to that link.
Okay, super. I think those were the key things I wanted to share with you. I do really appreciate you being here. I've switched my webinars to this meeting format so that I get to see your lovely faces, because it's always heartwarming to see who's there on the other side of the screen instead of just that little green light staring back at me. So like I said, it is a really lovely community here, and I think you'll really enjoy being part of it if you choose to join us. And if not, hopefully we'll see you somewhere else along the way. But whatever you do, just keep doing your yoga. I think these practices are more important than ever before. And the more I study and the more I try to expand my horizons and look at what other teachers of different, not just different yoga teachers, but what other thought leaders are doing out there in the world, the more and more I realize that the practices, the fundamentals of yoga are at the root of all of the significant teachings. It's all there. It's really all there. So it's time to, to pull those pieces that people have pulled apart and bring it back to this whole system, because that's what it is. It's a whole system where we incorporate meditation, breathing practices, movement, mantra, self-inquiry, journal work. It's all here in one place. And that 40-day training can give you a really solid foundation to build on. Thank you for being here. It's always lovely to see you, and I hope to see you again somewhere along the way. And remember, if you are going to join us, have a peek before Friday, because that's when the early bird savings expires.